Welcome back. Natural immunity. Two words starting to get more attention as people who have had COVID-19, those numbers are going up, and they want to know, are they protected? How protected are they from COVID-19? Some high-profile national doctors even going as far as saying people should get tested for natural immunity before they decide if they're getting a vaccine. Also, how does natural immunity play into herd immunity? Dr. Nicholas Barros is a transplant infectious disease specialist with IU Health, joining us to answer these questions. So good to see you, doctor. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you guys too.
Absolutely. This is something that we could talk about for an hour. We only have 4 minutes. So I want to start by saying we know that it's really important to talk about, when we do talk about natural immunity, to start with saying vaccines are important. They are extraordinary. They are the way out of the pandemic. But for those who have had COVID, here's the question. Do you think natural immunity can produce an equal or better cross immunity to COVID compared to vaccines on the market right now?
That is an extraordinary question, and it's slightly tricky to answer. Now, for the spike protein antibody titers, the vaccination for both the Pfizer and the Moderna vaccines that are available in the United States, the antibody responses elicited by vaccination are stronger than the ones that are produced by natural immunity. Now, there may be other parts of natural immunity that are not necessarily covered with vaccinations, but you know, it's still the antibody responses are slightly more potent and robust with vaccines.
All right, some national doctors that 100% again back vaccines who have gotten the COVID-19 vaccine themselves say that we, though, should be testing people's blood first to see how high their antibodies are, and that if they're really high, they should wait to get a vaccine. Do you disagree with that?
I do. And the reason why I do is because there is not a standardized assay across the nation for measuring antibody titers. So one titer in one place may be slightly different than the antibody titers in another place. And also the fact that there's not a good cutoff where you know that you're protected or not. So how high is high? How low is low? And so that variabilities may put people at risk. So until we know a little bit more about the virus, this is a completely new virus to us. It's only been with us in 15 months. So we do not have those perfect cutoffs when we say you're protected or not. And in that setting, I think it is safer to err on the side of caution and provide vaccination even for people that have been previously infected with COVID-19.
We only have about a minute left, and we do keep hearing about herd immunity, you know, and that we might be getting to this, you know, sooner rather than later, which occurs when a large portion of the population becomes immune to a disease. Some experts say that we are actually more closer to herd immunity, though, now because of so many people having natural immunity. It sounds like you still say that might not matter, that you still think that we need to wait for more people to get the vaccine.
That is correct. I would say that herd immunity is kind of like a theoretical number, and it's not very precise also. So it may be somewhere between 75%, 85%, it can vary. So I wouldn't necessarily say that we cannot add natural immunity to the vaccinations, but the fact is that we really don't know how natural immunity will last. And for that reason, I think it's safer to count only the people that have been vaccinated towards herd immunity.